How were y'all able to build such like a core fan base to where people like actually wanted to see y'all perform like at a town ballroom?
I think it's a mix of it being like 7 of us, like just having those individual relationships and then like coming together and like just like stacking that up to the point where it's like, all right, I fuck with Alex Live, now I fuck with Eddie, now I fuck with FMP. They make good music, let me bring my friends. And I think that just kind of like kept building to the point where now you do get those like shows. I don't know about you guys, is that what you think?
The music like speaks for itself in a lot of ways.
For sure.
Mostly, it's like I said mostly. Mostly, I think like personally that the fact that we hammered in that we want to keep everything like natural, and so like you could see it through the music, you can see it through our promo that like it's just us having fun. And I feel like people gravitate towards that.
Well, also you have to understand that, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm gonna beat this horse until it's dead. The music scene in Buffalo up until recently, it's challenging to get consistent shows. So when he's talking about doing basement shows and doing stamps and Milky's, from a management perspective, that's not like we're doing now where there's a run of shows. I mean, those could have been months apart. And as the time in between all those shows, these guys are connecting with the greater Buffalo music scene where Kevin's working with other artists and just networking and friendships in general. So as that music scene grew, the infrastructure grew where bars and clubs, it was in their best interest to open up their venues to local shows. They need to generate revenue, especially in times like this where they've all been closed for 2 years.
Facts.
So now that the Buffalo music scene infrastructure is stronger, like stronger than it's ever been, this is the time. Now we get that run of shows a lot easier. I mean, Town Ballroom never had their Pennant stage, and it was not possible to get in there until recently.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of the right ingredients at the right time.
And we were the first people on that stage. I want to put that on record. We christened that stage.
That's a fact.
On the record.
So, tell us about your project, Some. Some.
It just came together. It just magically came.
Yeah, no, we just kind of threw it together.
It was like weirdly kind of magical.
Yeah.
We had moved into a house together, and just it was like us kind of stumbling our way to a new sound. Like it was our first time sitting down and like really collaborating together like that, and we were just fucking around basically, like just smoking and drinking and chilling in our studio. Like it was like a dream for all of us, kind of have our own space and like build our own little studio where we could just kind of shut the rest of the world out and just make art.
Right.
And we wrote the whole, like each song pretty much, I think one of the craziest things about this project is that each song was pretty much entirely made in one night. So it's like,
That's fire.
like we would just sit down and whatever the vibe was that night, that entire song would just like naturally kind of be born and be done within a few hours. Like I would go in and start cooking a beat, they would start writing, everyone would like throw in their input, and like just whatever the energy was in the room that night became that song. And that was like the whole project. It was done in a couple months pretty much, just within us moving there, just a couple months we had a whole project, which was super dope.
That's fire.
I think it was just like a really nice capture of like that time spent there.
Yeah.
So.
That's dope.